Hello, everyone. I am from the Barrie Public Library, and my name is IBK, and I will be introducing the speakers today. So today we have with us Tracey Baker, who is a business development specialist, starting her business with consumer products first, and then moving on to professional services. Hello, Tracey. And
Good morning. Good morning.
And we also have with us Denise Tucker, who began her serious education with olive oil, and she's with the olive oil company here in Barrie. Hi, Denise.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, so when we just start, if you could share a little bit about yourself, and then we'll start with the presentation.
I'll go first, I guess. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tracey Baker. I own ZuZu Fashion Boutique in downtown Barrie. And this actually is my second or third or fourth career. I'm not sure which, but I came from the corporate world over many years. I am a Barrie girl, grew up here, spent my corporate life in Toronto and came home for 6 months about 10 years ago. So I now own a business, own a house, and am once again well entrenched in Barrie. My career was focused, as IBK mentioned, in business development, sales, and a very broad range of experience across many, many industries. So ultimately, I do believe that this long road of mine has prepared me as much as anyone could be prepared to own their own small business, right, Denise? To be where I am right now. And I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about my my little boutique. And I'll just, I guess, pass it over to Denise.
Awesome. Thanks, Tracey, neighbor downtown. Much appreciated. And it's great to be here with you and everyone else on this call. I can't believe that actually next week is going to be November the 1st. It feels to me like March the 1st. The year has just flown by. My name is Denise Tucker. I'm the owner of the olive oil company here in Barrie with 2 locations. We also have a location in Newmarket at the Upper Canada Mall. As well, we have a 4th location in Midland on the main street in Midland. It's King Street, looking at the water. Beautiful little shop. This Saturday, we're opening our Christmas pop-up shop at Georgian Mall as well. And in addition to our online store, I guess we'll have 6 locations effective this Saturday. So the corporate world seems pretty tame compared to what I'm going through right now, and definitely was not prepared for this. So my background is marketing and advertising, also employee training for management and sales functions. But stepping into retail was like stepping into a whole new world, and every day is a learning process, and none of us have all the answers. I think running a retail store is kind of like weathering a storm, and we've had a lot of storms the last 18 months, actually the last 6 years for me. And if you just keep your head up and carry on and deal with the weather or the storm in retail as it comes, and continue innovating, I think you do well. And I learned that in my corporate career, and I'm learning that every day in this career. So thanks again for being here, and looking forward to Tracey's presentation.
Okay, I guess I'll hop right in. Good morning again. Yes, Denise, you are talking about weathering a storm. I'm not sure it was a perfect storm or not, but it definitely has been a storm. And as I was preparing for this, it occurred to me this is really an interesting opportunity for folks to compare and contrast 2 different business models, because although you and I are both in the retail business, we're very different, but similar in many ways. So on that note, I just wanted to share a little bit about my little boutique, as I mentioned, in downtown Barrie. I have a single location. I have the what do you call it? The framework, I guess, for an online store, but it's not an active online store. I'm completely and utterly focused on my, excuse me, my bricks and mortar location on Dunlop Street East, and being part of that community, which is an interesting community that's constantly changing, and yet somehow staying the same. So but it's always fun. And if it ain't fun, then it ain't worth it. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, my vision, the ZuZu Fashion Boutique actually was started, I'll say 9 years ago. I worked a little bit for it when I was finished contracts and was here in Barrie as a store manager part-time. And then when the owners decided to sell, I purchased it. And I'm into my 7th year. I forget that I'm into my 7th year because I feel like I've lost a year, but I am into my 7th year. And my vision for the boutique is really just to provide a location, an experience for women who are looking to either find, discover, or express their own personal sense of style. It is an intimate business because women do go into a change room, take off their clothes, and come out wearing something that everybody's going to stand around and assess and analyze how it looks on them. And it's they can be very vulnerable. So it needs to feel, very safe. We need to have excellent relationships with our customers. And it is a 12-month-a-year operation. And I say that, it sounds obvious, but our seasonality really focuses around the change in the fashion season. So in the spring, summer, and the fall, winter is when we get really big blips, when we get big deliveries of inventory, when we really hit the market hard to get people to come in and see what's new. Having said that, however, Christmas does provide us an opportunity to wrap what we do in a little different context. And that is the holidays, that is consumer buying behavior shifts, and the challenges that come with that. So if you could switch to the next slide, I'd appreciate that. So we wanted to talk about goals today, and Denise, and I will confess, Denise did, and I did we were on a call and it was sort of summarized. So I'm maybe perhaps sharing here a goal, but it's valid nonetheless. And survival. We don't need to go into the long, gory details about the pandemic and the impact it's had. But also being downtown, we've been through road construction that went on seemingly forever when things were in a different capacity or different stage there. And then through the pandemic, of course, retail being declared non-essential. I don't know who decides fashion is non-essential, but it's pretty critical in my world. And trust me, we do see some fashion emergencies. So that's my little plug for however they determine what a non-essential service is. But it's been a tough 18 months. Just to give you an idea, our year end is April 30th. 2019 was pre-COVID, and year over year, I'm just looking at some points here. Year over year, 2021 respectively, we were down in our revenues. In our sales, which are our revenues, 25% and 47% respectively. Those are huge hits. I mean, if you're trying to sustain a business, let alone grow it, that's really unimaginable challenges. So in looking at survival, I've really broken it into 4 main categories to get through this year and into 2022. And January is beginning of a new season for us. So that's kind of where we sit. So staff retention is huge. There are major challenges right now with staffing shortages, continuing to offer a safe space and experience for our customers. And primarily that is around the COVID protocols. Maintenance of our sufficient inventory, huge challenges. Just on a day-to-day basis, let alone anything that relates to the holiday season, and ultimately rebuilding our sales so that we can carry on into 2022. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about each of those. So if you could switch to the next slide. I'm going to initially talk about people. People are our thing. And I'm very clear in my business with my staff. Initially, when we interview, if we're hiring, about the broad stroke division of responsibility. I choose what's going to be in the shop. I bring it in and I pay for it. I also work very hard to get customers in the door through all sorts of ways. And ultimately, the staff, their responsibility is to match up that inventory with the customers, bring them together, and generate the revenue. So it sounds very simple. The concept is simple. And when you've got great staff, trust me, it makes a huge difference. I have no staff shortages. I have a small staff. I have 3 people who work for me. So we're a team of 4. And we truly are a family. The staff really does appreciate my loyalty to them. I know what's going on in their world. They know what's going on in mine. And I treat them more than fairly. We are flexible in terms of scheduling, but we're scheduled out till April. So they roughly know what they're going to be doing and when. If they need changes, they work through the store manager. I recently gave them a small increase in pay just because I felt that was a sort of to reinforce the message to them that I do feel that we are strong and things are optimistic, and I look forward to continuing the future. And they in turn appreciate, they do get discounts, but they love, love, love dealing with our customers, and they love fashion. They are historically my customers, so they as I mentioned, they do appreciate fashion. They are usually mature, usually retired as myself into another career. So they work because they want to, not because they have to. And I am very, very lucky in that respect. So with respect to the holiday season, I do not bring in additional staff. The blips in traffic don't warrant it. However, because we do a lot of community-based, downtown-based, social media type activities that are escalated a bit for the holidays. I do ask them to participate more than they might throughout the rest of the year. So I do ask them for more time, but I do not recruit new staff for the holiday season. So that's my take on things around the people. And again, I do appreciate the fact that I'm extremely fortunate to have the team in place that I have. The next slide, please. We're going to talk about keeping it safe. So our COVID protocols, as with all, have been in place from day one. All of the standard hand sanitizer, social distancing, touchless payments, capacity limits have done this over the course and actually flatlined, obviously, for several different time periods because we were in lockdown. So that was a different situation. And we do seam every garment after it's tried on. So there is more labor required to manage the protocols with the current situation where some of the restrictions have been lifted. It doesn't impact me really. My capacity limits at their highest stated were 6. And I honestly don't get a lineup of people outside my door. So having 6 people in the shop is unusual at any time. So it really hasn't been a huge issue, with a couple of small exceptions when we might have had an event that drew more people. And in fact, we're having one in next weekend, not this weekend, our holiday open house. The lovely Denise and Olive Oil, as well as our house, are doing yet another collaboration. We love collaborations in downtown Barrie. And so it's going to be a full weekend of fun and experience for customers. So in that instance, I may need to step in and limit my capacity. One thing I did do this year, I didn't realize how significant it was going to be, was I put a front patio with chairs. And you see here, we had a little visitor. These are our most fun visitors that come to the shop. This little guy is enjoying watching the view. And this was probably during one of our downtown Dunlop, oh gosh, open air Dunlop, which actually is this weekend for Halloween, where the street will be closed. So come on down. And as I mentioned, very open about the fact that all of my staff is fully vaccinated, and I'm actually triple vaccinated. And our customers really appreciate that, and they're always very excited about telling us that they're vaccinated as well. So in terms of the Christmas holidays, again, really the only eyeball I'll have will be on those capacity limits should they come into play because of special events or activities that we're having come up. So next slide, inventory headaches. Yes, get out the Advil, get out the aspirin, get out the Tylenol. Huge inventory headaches. I'm sure you've all heard it. There are shipment issues, bidding wars on containers to get deliveries. Some of our things are made in Canada, but they're facing shortage of materials, so fabric, hardware, zippers, fasteners, all those kinds of things. So the problem, of course, is that if we don't have it, we can't sell it. And that is a real challenge around the holiday season as customers do come in for gift. And one of the blips we do get from the holiday is primarily women, but we do get men in this scenario where they come in to buy something for their girlfriend or a family member and ultimately end up buying something for themselves. It is not unusual for a customer to say, oh, brother, I came in to buy something for my sister and I'm walking out with this bag of goodies for myself. That is a big component of the holiday sales period for us. So inventory in that instance, it really is a challenge. And add to that in my business, in the fashion business, we pre-order 6 months ahead. So in January and February, I was ordering for this current season of fall. My inventory split by broad category is 83% clothing, 8% jewelry, and 9% accessories. 83% of my inventory is typically pre-ordered 6 months ahead. So fast forward 6 months, I don't know what I'm going to get. I've had orders canceled. I've had partial shipments, partial deliveries. And the problem with the partial deliveries is when you order, say this to go with a coordinating bottom, and you only get the bottom because they didn't make this, it makes it very difficult to merchandise. And it's just an example of how that inventory challenge works its way through onto my shop floor and in front of customers. So the inventory headaches continue. What I am doing is, and I do this every year, so it's not just because of the current situation, but the opportunity for Christmas, the holidays, I'll say, is to bring in, excuse me, things that are available immediate. So that's immediate purchase. So I can go to some suppliers who do stock inventory. The inventory levels are low, but there are opportunities for me to bring in new and unique ideas for gifts. They are, let me make this clear. I do not buy the holiday Christmas sweater with a reindeer on it. That is stale dated so quickly, and then come even December, I don't know, when do people stop wearing that stuff? Probably December 24th, maybe the 25th. It's done. I can't sell that. And even at a reduced price, people aren't going to buy it. And that's part of the challenge with fashion in general, is that people are always looking to the next one. What's different this season? So it's a tricky balancing act. I do monthly reviews of my inventory to see and sales, to see what is selling, what categories. I look at it versus our forecast. and see where I'm running low in categories. So maybe I need more pants, maybe I need more tops, whatever. This time of year, it's a bit challenging to look at bringing in new inventory. So I have to be very careful about that product mix. So things like jewelry, accessories, hats, scarves, gloves, fun socks, gift ideas, little candles, anything that can be co-packed for a gift and so on. That's the type of thing that I look at more specifically for the holidays. So moving on to rebuilding is rebuilding the sales. This is, oh, here we go.
It's Friday, which means it's time for your Friday Fashion Report with Tracey Baker from ZuZu Fashion Boutique.
I was up and out the door at 5:30 a.m. this week. That rarely happens, but it really sent a message that fall is at the door. It was chilly and dark. Yellow school buses were rolling by and I saw many in jackets. No one knows the change of seasons like Canadians. That includes the long-standing Canadian brands that take us from summer to fall, like Piccadilly, Artex, Michael Tyler, and Luke Fontaine. Don't forget Joseph Ribkoff and, of course, Tribal. They've all outdone themselves this year and the shop is bursting. Coats and jackets, sweaters, tunics and dresses, leggings, all of cozy textures and in warm, rich shades. Customers are loving it, so things are moving quickly. Come visit us in downtown Barrie and see what gorgeous looks like. And did you know that tomorrow is the final open-air Dunlop of the season? You don't want to miss it.
Thanks, Tracey. Make sure you visit ZuZuFashionBoutique.com for all your fashion needs. It's Friday.
Oh, don't want to hear that again. Thanks for playing that. So I wanted to share that with you because that's a new component in my marketing mix in terms of marketing and promotion. I do Friday radio fashion reports with Fresh FM and Big 101. And I wanted to play that for you because that is brand new from, well, I've been doing it for a few months now. But really, I wanted to share that with you to highlight what my approach is. It's sort of casual, fun, but informative. And the things that I talked about in that spot, which actually ran at the beginning of the fall, are things that are important to my existing customers, but also to new customers. So when I'm looking at rebuilding my sales, my first point of contact is customer retention. I know there's a stat about it's easier to keep a customer than find a new one, and certainly that's been my experience with ZuZu. As I mentioned earlier, our customers are accustomed to having a welcoming experience in the store. It's fun. They know my staff, and the staff know them. As a result, they can really help them find a new outfit, a new look. They understand their challenges. And this image here that I'm showing is a customer who was in last week. She lost 135 pounds, good for her, over the past several months and needed a new wardrobe. So she just came in and had a wonderful experience. And she wrote, "Thank you, Tracey, for a fabulous and fun shopping experience. You take all the stress out of shopping for a whole new wardrobe. You knew what would look good on me when I didn't. The many benefits of losing 135 pounds. So that is critical to me. That's an indication of obviously a very satisfied customer. She's going to tell others about it. And that's a very important aspect, as well as helping them find an entire look with the jewelry, having the right sizes, and then of course those gift ideas throughout the year. She'll be looking to spend money on a gift for the holidays. One point I wanted to make was while Barrie is a very price sensitive market, this is what I have found in my experience as a fashion retailer. Our customers know we are not and will never be a low cost option. So when you're thinking about pricing, the trick is to find that customer, obviously, that values what we have to offer versus looking perhaps focusing more fully on the price. So customer retention is key, and our customers have been incredibly loyal to us throughout this entire pandemic session. So the next part, obviously, if you move to the next slide, is customer acquisition. We have an extremely high referral rate. Customers, women see each other. Women look at what each other is wearing. People think women dress for men. They don't. They dress for other women. So they are paying attention to what women are wearing, and they say, "Where'd you get that?" ZuZu. We do have a high walk-in rate, driven by so many times and finally able to come in. I've heard that many times. And our open air Dunlop events have really impacted the walk-in rate. We're getting new people coming in all the time on those Saturdays when the street is closed and things are going on. And of course, social media, huge, huge impact given, particularly given the pandemic. I just wanted to show maybe about 30 seconds of this video that I posted on Facebook.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tracey here from ZuZu Fashion Boutique. And you may be saying, Tracey, I think I just saw you. Yes, you did, because we did a Facebook, Instagram live fashion event this morning. But I'm excited to hop back on here because we have prizes. You may know that through the month of August, we did a, what do you call it? Cross promotion with Connect Hair Studio. And the lovely Sharon Smith, who is the owner, operator of Connect Hair Studio. We each had some ballots available to some of our customers when they came in. I know this is backwards. So for Connect, we had, come on in, we're just doing a quick video. We had anybody who came in through August and purchased something for $50 or more got a ballot. And on Sharon's side at the studio,
anybody that pre-booked their next appointment got to enter their name into a draw as well. And there are two $50 gift cards from ZuZu.
That's
yes,
great. You can stop the
and
video
Sharon
now.
generously.
Great, super. I wanted to show that because as we get into the whole idea around marketing strategy, this is a huge one for me. I discovered, I'll say, Facebook and Instagram live events through the pandemic. They, in addition to a few other sources, were a huge generator of revenue that enabled me to keep my head above water. Collaborations and cross promotions, such as that one with Connect Hair Studio, and the collaboration I mentioned earlier with our friends down the street. I am a traditional 4P marketer. I can't help it. That's where I come from. That's what I understand. And the whole, product, price, place, and promotion, heavy on the promotion for customer acquisition. I advertise, as you saw, radio. I do print advertising, and I am a big social media presence thanks to the pandemic primarily. Trying to build awareness of the shop through the radio is starting to have some traction. Certainly in the community, I'm very involved, so I do get a lot of coverage through various media outlets just because I am downtown a lot and a lot of things happen downtown. And I'm involved in not-for-profits, particularly Cope Service Dogs, and I participate a lot with them through the year. And the shop, just by association, gets PR, I guess, through that. So I stand true to my 4 Ps and rely on that in many ways to develop those customer acquisition strategies. So with respect to the holidays, a customer acquisition and retention, again, it will be, we are doing a live event next Wednesday in anticipation of the holiday open house that weekend. So we'll be doing our first Facebook, Instagram live holiday fashion event. All of my staff is in. We'll be doing modeling. We model a lot. We do fashion shows on screen. We'll be chatting and it'll be lots of fun. That's the first time we're doing it in, as I said, anticipation of the holiday open house on that Saturday and Sunday. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of how I try to wrap what we do around the holiday. As I said, it's not a huge season for sales for us, but it certainly is an opportunity for messaging, for possibly connecting on a different way. We do get blips, as I mentioned, women coming in to buy and buy for themselves, We do get a blip on gift card sales for friends, family, and partners, the collaborations that we do, and we participate in what's going on downtown as well, everything from decorated windows and social media events to our open air Dunlop and collaborations with partners on the street. So, phew, I'm sure I went way over my 15 minutes. I'm sorry if I did. But that's ZuZu Fashion Boutique in a nutshell. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much, Tracey. So we are going to move on now to Denise.
Yay. So thanks, Tracey. There's definitely some overlap in what you and I are talking about, but I'm going to focus a lot more strongly on Christmas and the Christmas season, if you're allowed to say Christmas or holiday season, and getting ready for that holiday season. Even though we're a little late in the game at this point, there are still lots of things you can do if you're looking to really make an impact this holiday season. So just to begin, the holiday season is known to bring in as much as 30% of a retailer's annual sales, for me anyway. And 2021, we're still on the first slide, and 2021 is shaping up to be really no different. In fact, it's estimated that this year's Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping events alone will surpass $10 billion in e-commerce sales. Furthermore, research indicates that about 61% of holiday shopping will be completed before November the 25th. The reason for this? Consumers are smart. Unlike last year when we saw many first-time online holiday shoppers, consumers are now old hands at shopping online. Online shoppers know how to research, price compare, save items to their carts, and wait for the promo codes. So this shift to early online shopping brings the most significant holiday growth opportunity for retailers and e-commerce retailers yet. Next slide. Retailers were the highest category of bankruptcies through the pandemic. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a reality snapshot here. So what that means is if you want to restart the economy, retail composes the most significant revenue of all industries, especially leading into the fourth quarter and especially in Ontario. 65%, however, of our retail staff are stressed and have concerns about dealing with coworkers and customers who are not vaccinated, and also feel that mask wearing should continue for customers and staff. Lack of staffing is driving people to shop online even more. Pre-pandemic, we were seeing understaffing in the retail sector by about 10%, and now we're easily seeing those numbers climb to 40%. Nothing like a pandemic to convince people that it's time to early retire or reduce their workload hours or even move. That doesn't just leave a shortage of staff, unfortunately, it leaves a shortage of knowledge. As well, inventory management is going to be the difference this holiday season between not surviving or thriving. And it's a tough one. Try to make sure you have enough merchandise to cover expected demand. And while you can't predict how winter weather or potential pandemic restrictions or even consumer confidence might impact the upcoming season's retail sales, now's the time to prepare for this season. Everyone on your team brings many strengths. Empower your team to use their strengths. Social media, customer service, merchandising, signage, etc. And don't go lean. Associates get sick, emergencies come up, and bad customer service examples are really littered with complaints that there was just nobody there to wait on me or serve me or help me. Moving to the next slide, projections for December 2021. It's good to set a framework right off the bat. The Retail Council of Canada's 4th annual holiday shopping survey of over 2,500 Canadians found that the average holiday shopping spend this year is expected to be about $795 compared to $695 last year, approximately. Historically, consumers spend more than they plan to, as we all know. So this year's spend could be as much as $800 per person. The report also found that Canadians plan to begin shopping earlier, and more are planning to take advantage of holiday sales and product availability. 30% plan to begin shopping before November right now. 36% of consumers plan to begin their holiday shopping in November. 43% of people plan to shop on Black Friday. 35% plan to shop on Cyber Monday. And 34% plan to shop on Boxing Day. All of those numbers are between 2 and 10% higher than last year. So that's kind of some good news. In-store shopping will increase and online will continue to be strong, emphasizing the importance for retailers to provide that seamless experience across their selling channels. Make sure what you have in store is what you have online. Make sure you showcase that. 63% of total purchases are expected to be in store this year rather than online. That leaves 37% online. Just to give you a sense of how that's changed, pre-pandemic in 2019, that 63% in store was 72%. And the online percentage of 37 was 28. So there's been a real shift to online because of the pandemic. Supporting local retailers continues to be important to Canadians. In fact, 78% feel it's important to shop locally, and 81% feel, here you go, Tracey, it is especially important to support local retailers who have suffered due to the lockdowns. Maybe they weren't essential, I guess. I think we're all essential, actually. Moving to goals, we had to set some realistic and achievable goals, and it's probably this is the next slide, by the way. It's probably one of the most difficult things to do because everything in the last 18 months has just been so unpredictable. And the retail industry really at the best of times is unpredictable, like the weather I referred to earlier, which results, quite honestly, in a number of different uncertainties that merchants have to contend with each and every day. It's like sticking your head out the window to see what the weather's like. There's no denying that everything that's happened over the past year and a half have forced much of our industry to shift. And I hate the word pivot, but I'm going to use it because we've had to remain successful and continue serving customers. Consumers are returning to physical stores as well. And so there's quite a bit of optimism this year around the brick and mortar retail recovery over the months ahead and opportunities for retailers to offer the experience that Tracey mentioned that today's consumer is looking for. People are very much social beings, and we can talk the talk about having an online store and about having an online presence, but people want to reconnect with people this year. And there are so many Canadians across the country who have saved so much money during the pandemic, not shopping, not dining out, not traveling, not entertaining. These folks are craving experiences that we have to give to them. So when you're setting your goals, make sure as well that you're making sales a daily focus. We've heard about, I hate to use the W word, Walmart, talking about getting all their associates together on the floor at the beginning of the day and having a bit of a rally. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a 5-minute focused conversation. Here are the 5 things we need to achieve today. Here's where we're headed. Remember, there may be tasks to do in your store, but you don't hire people for tasks. You hire them to sell your merchandise. So help them do that. Plan out, sounds funny, plan out your holiday decorations. The magic of strings and lights cannot be overstated. And don't forget to place well-worded signs that help intrigue. Have you tried this with that? Put this top with those pants. Offer gift ideas, answer questions, entice customers to look and touch and feel and hold. And don't forget to keep your website current seasonally. If you're still showing summary prints for picnics, there's no way anyone's going to think you're a retail worth supporting in November and December. Another great idea is to create tips for holiday shopping. Gift guides are big business because most consumers don't have the time or, quite frankly, the imagination to think up unique gift ideas. People come in and they have no idea what they're looking for very often. Gift guide headings might include in your merchandising for the student, for the mom with young children, for grandparents, for gifts under $20. You get the idea. It's going to be different in every single store. And the more you can curate your store down to Instagrammable pictures and great descriptions of what each item is, who it's for, the more customers can look to you to fulfill their entire shopping list. Remember, you want all of that $800, not half of it, if at all possible. Next slide. But the reality is e-commerce continues to dominate. We've seen a bit of a leveling out during the pandemic when people weren't confident enough to come into our store, even though we were considered to be essential. I guess food is essential. Consumers weren't really confident. So we had a surge in online sales. And I'll use that word, not like Walmart did or Costco did or some of the big box chains did, but we did have a surge. We're starting to see that level out, but it has, online shopping has more than doubled its share of retail sales in the last 18 months. It'll probably stay at that level, and Christmas may even push that a little bit higher. But so much of this depends on the supply chain. Tracey talked about that a little bit, and any potential lockdowns in the fall. So here's what you can do. Improve the online shopping experience. Make sure your website loads quickly and is easy to navigate. Use high quality photos of products and less text. I don't know if you've noticed, but people don't read as much as they used to. They flip through pictures. And I think sitting at home through the pandemic has really contributed to that practice. Advise if you can when out of stock items might be available, and make it easy for customers to contact you. Frequently asked questions on the site helps customers self-serve, and always ensure that the checkout process is simple, fewer clicks. At the olive oil company, we've been as well successful offering free shipping with minimum orders. Quite honestly, we've had to increase that minimum order outside of Ontario now because shipping rates have just, I don't even know if the word is skyrocketed. It's unbelievable how much we in Canada pay for shipping anything across the country. Having said that, send tracking codes to customers when their order ships so they know where it is and they know when to expect it. That'll save you time as well. Answering emails and phone calls from customers who say, I ordered yesterday at 10 o'clock and I still haven't received my order, can be reduced if you actually just include them in that whole process. One of the things that we see a lot of success from is offering a coupon for future visits, both online and in store. So we hand out in-store coupons for a discount in Q1 2022. So if you shop at any of our stores in December, you'll get a savings coupon for January, February, March 2022. People really appreciate that. And couponing does drive sales. Online, we send an email 4 weeks after their order ships to make sure everything was to their satisfaction. And we give them a coupon code for the next order to keep them coming back. Next slide. Marketing strategy. Tracey and I both come from a marketing background, and we still don't know everything because it changes so fast. It's really tough to keep up. I understand the age thing now. I always feel like I need to be updating every single day because it changes so quickly. Marketing across all media should be consistent and focused right at your target customer. I personally advocate for an omni-channel approach that integrates digital and traditional media, including radio, magazines, flyers, newspaper, door-to-door, etc. Always with an emphasis on driving in-store traffic. You're always trying to drive feet. Invite influencers or experts to your store. People buy from people they like and trust. So use that collaboration. Having brand new customers walking through your door is always exciting, but increasing footfall isn't just about driving traffic from new shoppers. You should also strive to get existing customers to come back again and again. Tell them how much you miss them. Maybe throw in a promotion to get them to come back. Consumers today can order products from just about anywhere. And for this reason, your store needs to go beyond just selling physical products and deliver experiences that people won't get online or on their phone. The sell should be secondary to the experience. You're selling confidence, you're selling self-esteem. In our case, we're selling dinner, not stuff. I don't sell bottles of olive oil. We sell health. We sell a feel-good factor. And if you keep selling that feel-good factor, people will keep on coming back for more, like they do to my store, like they do to Tracey's store. Brick and mortar shopping in many ways is a social activity. People head down to retail stores with friends and family. Again, this weekend, open air Dunlop, because it's fun to shop. It's a social experience. In some cases, shoppers choose to visit physical stores because they want to interact with real people and have back and forth conversations about product. It's way more fun than shopping on your phone. Encourage your staff to socialize with your customers in more meaningful ways. Strike up conversations. Using small talk. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with some of the other stores downtown? Are you enjoying your afternoon? What are you doing for the rest of the day? Maybe familiarity. What brings you in to see us again? Coming in for another gift? Commonality. Are you enjoying all the sun we've been having and the great weather we've been seeing in October? Wow, how are you navigating all that traffic on Dunlop Street? Just remember that all customers aren't always up for a chat. Some of them just want to come in and have a look around, get a good read on them before making your approach. And if you're dealing with a shopper who's just looking or who isn't in the mood to chat much, then say something like, personally, I like to start in this part of the store and work my way around, that sort of thing. Another way to inject more socialization in your store is to run functions that bring people together. Tracey and I are experts on this, always looking to collaborate with other businesses so that you can influence more buys and get in touch with like-minded individuals. Events like fashion shows that Tracey has or the occasional in-store party can help drive more traffic and invite new and returning customers to your locations. We just had one on Saturday, this past Saturday, our 7th annual, I can't believe it, Customer Appreciation Day, where our foot traffic was 6 times what it would normally be on a Saturday. And we partnered with other local businesses to do that. And you know, as well as I know, that when a friend comes in and they bring a friend, that's always a positive thing. Social networks are the most influential source for finding purchase ideas, with 37% of consumers saying that they use social media to find inspiration for what they buy. So create social sharing opportunities within your store to get people to talk you up on social media. An easy way to do this is to display a branded hashtag in your store's Instagram handle, maybe in your change room or in other strategic parts of your shop at the cash, beside a popular product, that sort of thing. Investing in digital marketing is one of the best things you can do to drive offline traffic. People often turn to the internet to search and discover local businesses. Industry data shows that 46% of all Google searches are seeking local information, and that a whopping 88% of the local business searches on mobile leads to a call or a visit to your store within 24 hours. Make your store inventory visible on Google, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram to generate that excitement. Nothing keeps people away more than a stale and outdated store. So if you're looking to increase footfall, one of the first things you should do, particularly if you have a storefront downtown pedestrian location, is freshen up your windows and your in-store displays. Make the front of your store a beacon. And with COVID-19 and economic worries, it's easy to forget retail helps lift spirits. And that means the brightest colorful lights you can string in your window, in your store, or even across the street if you can. The goal is to make your store magical in spite of COVID. But no matter what the type of display, be sure to keep it simple and on brand, because clutter is bad. Next slide. Yay, we got through the marketing slide. The longest one. Managing inventory. I'm going to give you 3 words. While supplies last. Consumers are likely to make Christmas extra special this year. After many being away from loved ones in 2020, a lot of us didn't see our families or our friends for Christmas last year. This could be a bumper time for retailers, with demand being much higher than it has been in the last year. However, one of these issues this year that's really threatening to ruin the holidays is shipping and supply. And you can see I've posted up an email from one of my suppliers that I actually got about a month ago, telling me the price of a container from the US. I have a similar problem to Tracey and many retailers right now, is that perhaps a little different. I have no shortage of olive oil and balsamic vinegar at all. What I have a shortage on is the glass to put it in. So I have a different problem than Tracey. Tracey may not be able to sell the shirt or the blouse with the pants, I can't sell the oil if I don't have anything to put it in. You can't take it home in the palm of your hand, unfortunately. So that's a problem. In order to meet customers' needs and boost sales, businesses need to plan ahead. I do realize it's October 27th, but you can still get ahead of it. Take into account and plan for the challenges of supply chain disruption, shipping delays, and storage needs. The real challenge for every retailer is ensuring that stock is available at the right time. Like Tracey said, you can't buy it if I don't have it, can't sell it if I can't get it. So look to buy stock now and start marketing for the festive period now. I will say that you may have some pushback on doing some holiday advertising prior to Remembrance Day, but the two are not connected. Because I have Christmas items in my store doesn't mean I'm not respectful of Remembrance Day. And I think that's important to remember. If you go into a big box store, they've had their holiday stuff out for over a month. Shipping and oil costs, as Tracey mentioned as well, have really risen, and risen isn't the word. It's phenomenal. And there are additionally major supply issues driven by shipping disruption, container shortages. They're bidding on containers. It's at the container bidding price now. A month ago was $23,000. That's a $9,000 increase from the spring of this year per container. Don't expect as well these supply issues to ease until the end of Q1 2022. We've seen multiple suppliers where many haven't had increases for several years. And in order to sort of account for having more inventory in our store, and our year end is September, so it's painful to have to carry a load of inventory at this point. We actually, in the Barrie South End store, physically increased our warehouse space by 50% and decreased our retail space so that we could accommodate for more product storage and to provide a much needed space for packing and shipping and getting things ready for next year. Next slide. Safety. No Christmas outlook advice can be shared without mentioning COVID guidelines. Small businesses involved in any face-to-face experiences with their customers must be fully compliant with any government advice, particularly around public safety. And if you can go above and beyond, I would suggest you do that. Retail businesses need to protect themselves and customers and staff from the impact of COVID, and this is continuing. All retailers need to maintain their due diligence with regards to COVID-19 by continuing to require things like hand washing, sanitizing, screening, social distancing, all the things that have become part of our bailiwick over the last year that we didn't even dream about 2 years ago. We need to avoid any further lockdowns. We can't afford to go through this again. So offering customers a safe and positive in-person shopping experience is crucial. Store processes and procedures have likely changed for you and your team. Training should include things like receiving, picking, packing, shipping, local delivery, curbside, anything that's changed for you in the last 18 months. It's difficult. And we have part-time staff who don't come in every day. So over the course of a week, 6 things may change. We need to be training constantly. And the other thing we need to be aware of is customer sensitivity. Try not to post too many signs at your store entry. I've walked into stores that literally you cannot see through the door because there's so many signs up, and you almost have to read a book before you go in. It's intimidating. It's intimidating to me. Try to reassure and demonstrate to customers and staff your safety policies and procedures. Put up the signs you need to, but actually have conversations with your staff and your customers. We have personally found that our customers, and we have a high-end clientele, are overwhelmingly thankful for the safety precautions. Talk to them and also be ready to respond again, and I'll mention this, to sensitivity around selling Christmas or Remembrance Day. That's not me. Second last slide. I always like saying that because people go, oh my God, she's almost done now. So take care of your people. At Olive Oil Co., we have 23 staff. And I have to say they are the best team around. We've always had the best team. We have the best team now, and we always will have the best team. Tracey and I actually share a teamer, or I had somebody that now works for Tracey. So we know how to find good people. And I'm really proud of that. And I think that our people are our competitive advantage. People sell better than websites do. Bonuses, incentives, Pay increases, rewards, thank yous, spiffs are more important than they ever have been. Retail jobs right now need to pay well, they need to be safe, and they need to be fun for the staff. The importance of your frontline staff can't be overstated. Retail, quite honestly, in the last 18 months has lost a lot of its glamour. If retail was ever glamorous, we now know how unglamorous it is. Today, you join a retail team, you're handed a spray bottle and a rag and told to clean. It's changed the workload and the responsibility of all retail staff. And it also changes the flow of the retail process and the sales process that we've become so comfortable with. Having to stop in the middle of a conversation with a customer to sterilize yourself or a product or ask for proof of vaccine is quite honestly disruptive and unpleasant. So it's not the fun job it used to be. We need to do everything we can to keep it the fun job that it can be. Vacancies cost money, and we all have problems with vacancies here and there. I don't personally, but I have over the last 18 months. MIT actually did a study several years back where they calculated that for every vacancy, you're losing 4 times the value of that person's wage. So every one person down, you lose 4 times their value. Hire extra help if you think you might need it. It may seem obvious, but September, October is when you hire people so that you have plenty of time to assess if they are a fit for your business or not. But even if it's November, you can still get ahead of it. Also, train everyone. Seasonal help often gets less attention, and that's a mistake. Holiday retail sales training goes much further than knowing how you should be greeting your retail customer. With more people coming through your doors, how your employees engage strangers will make the difference between hearing "I'll take it" and watching them take out their smartphones to purchase from a competitor. Focus on topics like how to engage a stranger, how to sell your merchandise, how to deal with stress, and try very, very hard to hang on to your seasoned staff. New staff don't sell as well as seasoned staff do, but they demand the same pay, and they still require more training and more supervision. So if you're missing one additional staffer, you're not saving money, you're losing productivity. Enable your staff to get involved and demonstrate ownership in your company. They don't need to be supervised. Help them enjoy their job. Show them the way to have fun with it, because it'll encourage more sales and you'll retain your staff much longer. Try to manage with less command and control and more input and teamwork. And for me, the only other thing I want to say is the last slide. Thank you and enjoy the holiday season. It's going to be a great one.
Perfect. Thank you so much to both Tracey and Denise. I think we all learned a lot of great helpful tips and information, some key kind of marketing examples that both of you do that we can all take away. So thank you again. Just as we have a few minutes left, if anyone has any questions, please pop them in the chat or the Q&A. If you also have any questions moving forward, you can always go through the Small Business Center, and we'd be more than happy to get those questions answered for you. IBK just posted in the chat, if you have a moment, to please complete our feedback form. And the next Learning Lab will be taking place in November, so stay tuned for that as well. Again, I'm not seeing any questions popping up in the chat or Q&A, but thank you so much again. We will be posting this presentation on the Small Business Center's YouTube page. And yes, Janine, Clayton, very insightful information. So thank you both again. Stay tuned for our next Learning Lab, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
See you later.